Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to another Supatease PVP walkthrough. And in this one, I'll be going over Balanced Druid against Rogue Mage Priest, my thoughts in the match, and some of the goals I'm looking to accomplish, and some of the goals I'm looking to deny from the opposing team throughout the match. So with balanced druid compositions, you are typically focusing on survival first. You look to attrition the enemy team and burn their mana away, especially if you're playing with a demon hunter who has the spell Mana Rift, which literally burns the enemy healer's mana away. So you'll have multiple win conditions. One is with crowd control, so you can use Mass Entanglement, Solar Beam on the priest, dump 2 Star Surges into your kill target, that being the mage or rogue depending on positioning. And the other win condition, of course, is to be Mana Rifting the Disciplined Priest and burning him out of mana. And with those 2 win conditions, you have a solid matchup against Rogue Mage Priest. You just really want to focus on who on your team doesn't have defensive cooldowns. Look to kind of guess who they're going to go after, and that's usually the target that doesn't have defensive cooldowns. And as long as you're communicating that with your teammates, you should have a fairly good time against this composition. So at the start of the match, you want to be in stealth. You do not want to get sapped, as it will allow the enemy team to open up on one of your partners and you can't support them. Cyclone is very important in breaking up the initial attack. Your Demon Hunter instead should use the Shadowside Eyes to find one of them, deny a sap, and get combat. I lead the aggression here with a Solar Beam from stealth and an Incarnation Star Surge jump onto the mage. The mage responds immediately with Temporal Shield, and as a result, with this Smoke Bomb, they are able to break up the crowd control chain and effectively deal with this incarnation initially. Having realized that this incarnation has basically got mostly nothing done, my Demon Hunter moves in for a stun Mana Rift, which the Disciplined Priest opts to trinket out. So he's very much so afraid of the Mana Burn strategy, but Incarnation's still a very potent cooldown, and with Sylvanas' Resolve and Azerite trait increasing your intellect, you can see how much huge damage I was able to do. This mage is still struggling as his priest was caught into an Imprison. So stun, Mana Burn into Imprison, good crowd control chain. We have good pressure on 3 targets. Now my focus is back on surviving, as the rogue has used Vendetta, Shadow Fiend, Combustion. That's the all-in from the Rogue Mage Priest. Although in this position we seem to be dealing with it all right, so I'm still focusing on attacking. I would say in this position it would be better for me to run behind the balcony, and I believe that I realized that shortly. The main reason for this is because the priest wants to follow to heal his rogue. He will then run into the middle of the map as such, and when the priest runs into the middle of the map, you are then more likely to secure crowd control on the priest. We have the priest down to half mana still, so our main focus is survival. I should have looked to bear form when the rogue came out of Cyclone, as Kidney Shot was available on my Omnibar. Getting stunned out of bear form can be risky, and you want to look to deny that as frequently as possible. My Root Solar Beam was up if I hardcast Entangling Root, so I looked for that opportunity, as my Demon Hunter had used a Chaos Nova onto 2 members and they were unable to interrupt. I was able to get that crowd control. I then look to follow up with Cyclones. If I get interrupted, my Demon Hunter instead continues the chain with Imprison and potentially stuns. This then nets us an Ice Block, so you can see how important it is to be looking for these crowd control windows, because you're going to force powerful cooldowns and make it uneasy for the Rogue Mage Priest to push in and finish you. If you focus on only defense, they may get overconfident and run you over. So you want to make sure that you are finding windows for counter pressure to keep them on the back foot. Still focusing on those stun Mana Rifts. As you can see, they're very low on mana. They're chasing us down. They know they don't have very much longer. So I use my High Mountain Racial to charge across the field and again reposition the priest so that he is more so out in midfield. I then see the rogue switch to my healer, and I immediately look to Cyclone. And during this moment, they catch us in a 3v1. Unfortunately for them, they did not have Vendetta available. Otherwise, they may have found a kill here. They do, however, get Darkness and Astral Shift. So what does that mean? My Shaman is now the weakest target on the team. The next Kidney Shot could easily be the end of the match, and I need to make sure that I peel for him, or that we can close the game before that point. My Demon Hunter secured some crowd control onto the healer, so I dump my Star Surges, and I try to keep counter pressure on the rogue during this moment, as this Kidney Shot on the Shaman could have closed the game. Instead, they are forced to use it defensively to deny our assault, but even still, it is not enough, and we deal enough damage to deal with the rogue. So the main focus here is to be in bear form when stuns are available. Look for Cyclones when they use Kidney Shot on your teammates. You'll have to fake cast Counterspell and avoid Psychic Scream at your best, using Travel Form to max range it, or fake casting for Cyclones. And as long as you're able to support your team, use the Mass Entangle Solar Beams into Imprisons for crowd control on the Priest. You should be forcing cooldowns. You want to save your Star Surges typically during crowd control moments on the Priest, so he has to spend mana on expensive spells like Radiance. And that's going to be it from here. I'm glad that you tuned in for my walkthrough of Balanced Druid today, and I hope that you will subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to see when my videos go live. I am doing my best to make a walkthrough every single day, so if it's in your interest to learn World of Warcraft PvP, or maybe just have something to relax and listen to, this is definitely a good place to be. So I appreciate you all tuning in, and I read all the comments down below. I'm really looking to answer questions and take any feedback that you have for me, so definitely do that if you've got any, and I appreciate it. I will see you on the next video tomorrow. Have a good day.